Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. We invite everybody to grab a seat, to make sure your cell phone is silenced, just in case. We're going to begin in our blue prayer books, dark navy. We're on page 12, Yedid Nefesh.
Yedid Nefesh of HaRachaman Mishavtecha El Ritzonecha Narutz Avtecha Moya El mul ha'torecha teravlo yedidutecha minofetzu echot ha'am yalalai yedirai yadarai yedirai yadarai yedirai yadarai yadarai Yedirai, 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 yedirai,
We continue on page 22 with Lechu Neranana.
Lechu Neranana, Lechu Neranana, Ladondai, Naria Litzor Yishenu. Sing that with me. Lechu Neranana, Ladondai, Naria Litzor Yishenu. Nikad Mafanav, Nikad Mafanav Vitoda. Isirona Rialo Nikadma Vanavitoda Isirona Rialo. And let us sing to our God. Echuneranina Ladondai Naria Litzor Yishenu. Echuneranina Ladondai Naria Litzor Yishenu. Nekadma Vanavitoda Isirona Rialo. Nekadma Vanavitoda Nekadma Vanavitoda Isirona Rialo. You got two more times to try it out. Nikadma Fanav, Nikadma Fanavitoda, Isirona Rialo. I think they're getting it. Nikadma Fanavitoda, Isirona Rialo.
Page 24. we're 3 lines from the bottom of the page.
יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו יעלו שדי איי 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 יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו יעלו שדי איי 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 אז ירננו כל עצי יער 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 יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו יעלו שדי איי 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 יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו יעלו שדי איי 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 אז ירננו כל עצי יער 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 יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו יעלו שדי איי 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 יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו יעלו שדי איי 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 איי
We're going to turn to page 26, bottom of the page, Or Zarua. Or Zarua means light will be sown, light will be planted for the righteous. And as we're chanting it, we can think about what are we trying to plant within this world? What kind of light are we hoping is going to come forth? Page 26.
Or Zarua, Or Zarua Latzadik, Ule Yisrael Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik, Ule Yisrael Simcha. Yirira, 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 yirira. Or Zarua Latzadik, Ule Yisrael Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik, Yisrael Simcha. Yedidai, 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 yedidai,
Page 28. Page 28, middle of the page, and bottom of the page in the transliteration.
Zamaru l'Adonai bechino, bechino, bechol zimra. Zamaru l'Adonai bechino, Rabbi,
Yeah?
do you think that the people who wrote this psalm ever expected to hear it on a guitar?
Yes. Well, I don't know if they could imagine guitar, but I love the idea that within all of our prayers, especially within the Psalms, within Tehillim, there's all these musical instruments that Jews for more than 2,000 years, like for 3,000 years, have been bringing instruments into our prayers. They're just part of this long chain of tradition, even if they couldn't have predicted the guitar. Page 30.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu.
Page 34.
Yalalai, lalai, lai, yalalai, 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 lai, yalalai, 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 lai, yalalai, 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 lai, yalalai. Mizmor leDavid, Havul Adonai v'nei Eli. Havul Adonai kavod va'oz. Ay, Havul Adonai kevod shmo. Yishach Havul Adonai hadrat kodesh. Kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod irim. Adonai al mayim rabim. Kol Adonai ba'koach. Kol Adonai ve'adar. Kol Adonai shover arazim. Vaishaber Adonai et artei halevanon. Vayar kidei moegel levanon. Kemo vein re'emim. Kol Adonai Kosev la'avotesh. Kol Adonai Achil midbar. Achil Adonai midbar kadesh. Kol Adonai Echol el ayalon. Ayacheson. Adonai Yevarech Tamo Vashalom. Ay, did I, ay, did I, ay, did I.
Shabbat Shalom. And we will begin in just a second. We're putting on Tali Tot for Mariv. But as I do, I'm actually going to share with you, as Rabbi Schwartz is giving the sermon tonight, that last week on Saturday, I gave a Devar Torah. Some of you heard it. I wrote a letter to Gideon, my son, who is in Poland this week on what I'm now thinking of as like a death tour. Sorry, that's grim, but that's what it's felt like. Can you hear me? Okay. And you remember I shared the letter that I had written to him that he was supposed to read when he visited Auschwitz. So as it turns out, they gave the teenagers and the 20-somethings the letters today. So they gave it to him really. They're going to Auschwitz on Sunday, but they gave it to them in a mass field where they had killed the children and the babies. And I think that that actually was the moment that they chose. All of this is to say that amidst that, I was just told by Richard Grilly, where's Richard Grilly? Where are you, my friend? That, that the Nicholas Winton story, hopefully that rings a bell. If not, it's not too late, is playing at the local theater, and it's called One Life. And it is with, who is in it? A good person. Who? Anthony Hopkins. See, you all know, but maybe not everyone knows. So every once in a while, it's good to have, I don't know if it's a good story, but at least a story where someone is doing good. So I just want to encourage people. It's, I think, only playing for a couple of weeks at the Charles and the Senator theaters. And also in Hunt Valley, says Sarah Hayes. So try to fit it in over the next couple of weeks, if you will. And we're going to keep on going in our service with Lecha Dodi, which you can find on page 38.
Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad hishmianu el hamiyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shemo tiferet v'elitila Shabbat במחשבה תחילה, הולך דודי לקראת כלה. בני שבת נקבלה, הולך דודי לקראת כלה. בני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך, עיר מלוכה, קומי צאי מתוך הפכה, רב לך שבט במקבך, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה, הולך דודי לקראת כלה. פני שבת נקבלה, הולך דודי לקראת כלה. פני שבת נקבלה.
We turn to page 40 and we rise for the final stanza.
בואי ושלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, הולך דודי לקראת כלה. פני שבת נקבלה, הולך דודי לקראת כלה. פני שבת נקבלה. פני שבת נקבלה.
We pause at this time in our service as we remain standing to extend our condolences to those of our members who have been bereaved over the past week. This week, we extend our condolences to the family of the late Toby Frankel, to the family of the late Brian Glick, to the family of the late Herbert Janney, to the family of the late Marilyn Levin, to the family of the late Lorraine Rose, to the family of the late Linda Smaney, to the family of the late Glenn Weinberg. And we join together at the bottom of page 41 to join together in consoling our mourners with these words of comfort. Hamakom yinachem etchem b'toch sha'ar avelei Tzion v'Yerushalayim. May the Holy One who comforts the people of Israel grant you solace in your bereavement. We're seated for another moment as we share this week the list of the second month of Adar, the 5th day of the second month of Adar. Isidore Alex, Mildred Sylvia Applebaum, Meyer Bronstein, Dylan Max Cohen, Nancy Friedman Gracian, Rebecca Hammerman, Sylvia Harrod, Jerry Klotzman, Alan Kravitz, Charlotte Lindner, Joseph Lorber, Neil Luray, Ben Miller, Regina Oberman, Nathan Schuman, Kenneth Neal Silverman, Blanche Silverman, Mary Silverman. Zecher Tzadik Livracha, may all of their memories forever be a blessing, and will those people who are in a period of mourning or observing a yahrzeit, please rise, turn to page 124, and join me in the recitation of the Mourner's Kaddish in memory and in merit of those whom you love. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Bi'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dachol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'yimeru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevarach le'olam u'le'olamaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha brechu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata dushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'yimiru amen. Yehesh lama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimiru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimiru amen. May your loved ones' memories always be for a blessing. We now turn to page 50 and we rise for the Baruch.
Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
We're seated, and we turn to page 51 for our responsive reading. Jason, come on up, it's your lucky day. Page 51, we'll read responsively.
Praise are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, whose word brings on the dusk of evening.
Your
word
wisdom opens the gates of
Dawn, your understanding regulates time and seasons.
The stars above follow their appointed rounds in response to your divine will.
You create day and night. You alternate darkness and light.
You remove the day and bring on the night. You separate one from the other.
We call you Lord of heavenly hosts, for you are our living God.
May you rule over us. You rule over nature. Praise are you, O Lord, who brings the evening dusk.
Amen.
Umavirom umevi laila, umavtil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzevot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid mlocha aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari
Amen. Page 52.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amecha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu lemadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu B'shofeinu v'kumneinu Nasiach b'chukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha U'b'mitzvotecha Le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu Ve'orech yameinu Uvahem techyeh Yomam v'layla Ve'avatecha Al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael
Page 54.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Ve'ahavta et Adonai לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאור על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Continuing on page 56. And we join together in the middle of page 57. Therefore, keep these words of mine in your heart and in your soul. Bind them as a sign upon your arm, and let them be a reminder above your eyes. Teach them to your children, speaking of them when you are at home and when you are away, when you lie down at night and when you rise up in the morning. Write them upon the doorposts of your homes and upon your gates. Thus your days and the days of your children will be multiplied on the land which the Lord promised to your ancestors, for as long as the heavens remain over the earth. Page 58.
ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור. Adonai Elohechem
The middle of page 60.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ובני ישראל, לכנו שירה בשמחה רבה, ואמרו כולם, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקעים לפני משה, זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, כי ברר את יעקב וגלו מאוד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We're going to invite people to join me as Keith and Denise Franz come forward. And actually, we're going to do tonight the reading in the middle of the page, on page 62, the middle of the page.
You're on. Help us, O God, to lie down in peace and protect us with your love as we sleep.
Lighten our burdens and soften our hearts. Restore our bodies and refresh our souls.
May we rest secure and untroubled and arise with confidence to the challenges of a new day.
O guardian of Israel, who neither slumbers nor sleeps, shelter us and our people in your tabernacle of peace.
Amen.
ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני Hapore sukat shalom. Aleinu ve'akol amo Yisrael. Pore sukat shalom. Aleinu ve'akol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim.
Page 64.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We turn now to page 69, and we rise for the Amidah, which is recited quietly in the evenings. But first, we'll do the Chatzei Kaddish. It's been one of those weeks. 66, if you want to stay standing, you can.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא יברך חירותי, וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביום אחד, ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בגלות בזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, ועליו ועל ועל יתברך. יתברך וישתבח, יפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו, לילה מן כל בחטא ושירתה. שחטא נחמתה, תמירה לעמה, ואמרו אמן.
And now we rise. The Amidah is found on page 69 and continues through page 76. The words are recited quietly, and at the end of the prayer, it's a nice opportunity to insert the prayer from your heart. As you know, I always like the Dear God, wow, dear God, help, dear God, thanks. Page 69 through 76, and then a prayer from the heart.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha ve'al kol yoshvei Tevel. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha tasim le'olam. Ki ata melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha ve'al kol yoshvei Tevel. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha tasim le'olam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך ועל כל יושבי תבל. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
Everyone may be seated, and we turn to page 80 for Vayechulu.
ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם. ויכל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה. וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו. כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות.
Continuing on page 82.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, אלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, קונה שמיים וארץ. הגן אבות בדברו וחיי מתים במאמרו. האל הקדוש שאין כמוהו, המניח לעמו ביום שבת קודשו. כי בם רצה להניח להם, כי בם רצה להניח להם. לפניו נעבוד ביראה ופחד, ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד, ואין הברכות אל ההודעות הזאת. השלום מקדש השבת, וברך שביעי, ומניח לקדושה, לעמי קדוש לעונג, זכר למעשה למעשה בראשית.
Page 86.
יתקרא ויתקרא שמי רבה, ואלמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון ובמכון ובחי לכל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, ועלם ולעולמי עלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן ועלמה ויאמרו אמן. תתקבל סלותון ובתון לכל יתרו קודם ובהוני ושמיה ויאמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן.
We now turn to page 90 and we rise for Kiddush, which is going to be led by Elise Harrison. It's exciting. Page 90.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kadsho b'hava uvratzon hinhilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tihila liknikra kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim.
Kivanu k'arza v'yatanu kidasha v'kol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava uvratzon hichaltanu.
Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat.
Amen.
I feel like your mom, I can't even imagine what she would be saying right now. It's all good. A lot of pride. Everyone may be seated for our special Devar Torah.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Yesterday I was officiating at a baby naming, and I happened to notice a bracelet that was on a woman's hand. Oh, it said on it in little tiny, tiny beads, "Create joy." Create joy. So I went up to her after the baby naming, when we were at the oneg, the schmoozing session, the eating part. I said, "I really like your bracelet. It is so Adar." And she said, "I'm not Jewish, so I don't know what you just said." I said, "That's okay, that's okay." I said, and then I was like, "Oh, okay." Well, I was like, well, every Jewish month has its own like mystical energy. It's the kind of characteristic of the month that it's easy for us to access within our souls. And then I said, and this year happens to be a leap year, so there are 2 Adars. There was Adar Rishon, first Adar, and now we're in second Adar, Adar Sheni. But I said, that part actually isn't so important. What is important is that we have a saying from the Talmud, Misha Nechnas Adar Marbim Besimcha, that when Adar enters, when Adar begins, then we start to increase our joy. We start to create happiness. And I said, your bracelet is exactly perfect for Adar. Create joy. That is what we're supposed to be doing during this month. So we went our 2 separate ways. And I was left thinking after that, what is it about Adar that causes us to create joy? And especially, I got a lot of emails today from a lot of Jewish organizations, and they were like, this is a hard and terrible time. And I was like, yes, I know. And then the emails were like, but we should still be happy because it's Adar. And I was like, okay, I'm trying. What exactly do we do? Like, what does it mean to create joy, to create happiness during this month, especially during a time that really is hard for the Jewish people? Like, the hostages are still being held in Israel. We're still praying for their release and for the war to come to an end. And I was thinking of the different mitzvot, the different commandments that we attach to the holiday of Purim, and how they're really set up for us to cultivate joy, to create joy even when we're feeling like stuck or sad. So what are those different mitzvot of Purim? Well, first we have the chanting of the Megillah. We gather together as a spiritual community. We show up in our synagogues and our spaces, and we hear this story where everything was terrible, and then it flipped on its head, and we were redeemed. We were saved. We were able to stand up and to defend ourselves. When we get together in community and we recite the story of the Megillah, the story of Esther and Mordechai and Achashverosh, and Jews coming together to support each other, then we're like reenacting that moment. We're feeling the joy within our lives. We're allowing ourselves to be surprised by God. We're allowing ourselves to be surprised by our own actions. Like, just like Esther stood up and she was like, I can do something. It's like, yes, I can also do something. So we come together in community, we chant the Megillah, but that's not it. We also have like a Purim spiel. We get really goofy about it. We allow ourselves to be silly. We're going to be dressing up. There'll be snacks. It's like a giant party. In the wording of in like mitzvah language, we have an obligation, a mitzvah obligation to have a seudah, to have a festive party on Purim, where we get together and we eat junk food, and if we're somebody who enjoys drinking wine, then we're supposed to do that also on Purim. We're supposed to allow ourselves to feel like free, to just feel free, and to be with our friends and to have our Purim carnival or our special Purim meal, and to allow that freedom to spill out into our close friendships. So we have chanting the Megillah, we have Suda, a festive Purim party that might include alcohol, but could also include like chocolate or pizza or macaroni and cheese, whatever it is that's like your special goofy food. And we also have a mitzvah obligation to give mishloach manot, to give small gifts of food to our friends and to our neighbors. And we literally like we'll carry bags of little foodstuffs to synagogue and we'll distribute them, but you might also like travel around. You might drive around town and drop food off at different people's houses. We're sending a little bit of joy that we've created out into the community. Like that joy that we might have in our own households or in our own synagogue, we're taking it just like one little step farther with Mishloach Manot. And then we also have Matanot LaEvyonim. We also have a Purim mitzvah obligation to give either food or money to those who are needy. It teaches in our tradition that if we ourselves are needy, then we should partner up with someone else who's needy and we'll just swap the same meal that we might have had. Within our tradition, there's a philosopher, his name was Rambam. He lived in the late 1100s, and he said that The main mitzvah of Purim is actually that last one. Matno le'evyonim, giving abundantly, giving to those who are needy. Whether it's food, whether it's money, but should be given with a pure heart, with an open hand, with so much joy. But those are the four mitzvot that we're trying to grab onto for Purim, the four ways that we're trying to create joy. And I was really stuck on that last one. On the ways that joy isn't something that only happens on the day of Purim itself, that joy is something that's supposed to happen all month long, that it's supposed to be something that we work on and create not only next Saturday night when it's Purim, but something that I can do today, something that I can do tomorrow, something that I can do a little bit every day of Adar. I think that the lesson of giving to the needy can actually be broadened out. I think that it's about surprising other people. Surprising other people who you're not actually in community with, or you're not buddies with, and surprising them with acts of kindness. Well, giving freely to anyone who's asking for money, like Purim wants us to do that, 100%. But I think that we can also, like starting today, starting right now, in the very small interactions that we have with people both in our community and also every single person, the people in the supermarket, the people at the gas station, people at the dry cleaners, people online. It's very hard to act kindly towards people online, other drivers. All of the ways that maybe it wouldn't be expected for us to respond with incredible kindness, with that outpouring of kindness. Maybe in Adar, that this is the time for us to create that kind of joy. Maybe at least Adar is the month where we invite ourselves into that, where we invite ourselves into creating joy in the most unexpected ways. I want to bless us that we have the ability to do that. And we should all imagine that we have a bracelet on our hands that says, create joy. And we should think about how are we going to bring that out into our world today, Purim, but really every day. Oh, Shabbat Shalom.
We continue in our prayers on page 118, and we rise for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, אגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת. אין עוד, רק נקרא לך אדוני אלוהים. הכתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Everyone may be seated. We pause at this time in our service to remember those of our beloved ones whose yahrzeit are observed tonight, the 6th day of Adar, from sundown until sundown tomorrow night. Those include Miriam Berlin, Phyllis H. Berman, Dina Blake, Al Blumberg, Nathan Friedman, Benjamin Freeland, Aaron Friedman, Max Holcomb, Joseph Harry Klein, Lee Levy, Irene K. Marenblum, Jeanette Davis Miller, Leonard Malofsky, Lou Newman, Ben Noodle, Rose Rosengarten, Helen Sapp, Lillian Scher, Lorraine Schlossberg, and Sylvia Serret. Zecher Tzadik Livracha, may all of their memories be a blessing. And will those who are in a period of mourning or observing a yahrzeit this evening please rise. The recitation of the mourner's Kaddish, the words can be found on page 124. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah, B'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chaye chon u'vyomei chon u'vchaye dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'yimeru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olmei maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei kudasha brechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran bi'alma v'yimeru, Amen. Yehish lama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru, Amen. May your loved ones' memories always be a blessing. We now turn in our Sidurim back to page 16, and we'll conclude our service this evening with, I think, a really important and special prayer, Shalom Aleichem. And Shalom Aleichem asks that the good angels come back to our homes with us. They follow us home. And I want to invite them to follow us back to our homes and back into our lives and into our hearts, into our minds, into our souls. And that the good angels within and the good angels of the world will emerge stronger. And we should feel that love and that light again and safety sometime soon here throughout the land of Israel for the Jewish community and really for everyone. May we all someday soon, maybe today or tomorrow, come to know peace.
Shalom Aleichem Malachei Hasharin Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Boachem L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Baruchuni L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Teitzchem L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Oh, today will merry, merry be. Oh, today will merry, merry be. Oh, today will merry, merry be. And notch some Hamantashen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
up just now. It's a gorgeous song.
minute fine. What's your costume? Shania, what you gonna do for each of us? Yeah. Yes. No, it's yes. Yeah.
You gotta go back.
What do you have to do?
Or not?
5 years ago.
And you're
I was told it was March 14th by some Chabadniks. They're pretty sticky.
the Dalits cult.
That's
No, they
it was the non-Super Day. I was doing this the 14th. I think it might have been Wednesday.
when? Well, the system has had some issues with denial of Frank.
How about this? How about we do this? How about we do, does there is the internet, Hebrew, date, March 11.
What is your last?
Fine. But that, there is 4th of a dollar. Yeah. So, yeah, it was Wednesday.
It was Wednesday.
So it wasn't on this list.
Good.
Probably was.
No, it was Wednesday, but this went out super.
No, you're not. But I'll double check for you to make sure that it's on your account and make sure that it was.
I think it's on my mother's.
Oh, but I can put it on your.
So, yeah,
Shabbat. Send me an email. And I will double check that.
thanks, Ben.